It's Sean Haynes with the Ag Center and Agri-CFO Advisory Services. Dairy prices continue to slip down a few cents this week from last week. They're down in the mid to low 17s through low 18s the next 90 days. Prices look up like after the summer, they're popping up in the near 19 to 19 plus range, which is close to break even for folks. Things are just holding things back because butter inventories are still relatively high. Cheese is really what's been kind of destroying the dairy price lately. Spot prices for that milk's been like $8, $9 a hundredweight the past week or so before components, and all that's turning into cheap cheese and cheap powder. Bull calf prices on the beef side still stay high because of the beef markets. You're looking at 350 plus for crossbred calves. Cull cow prices 90 cents to $1 recently, which is traditionally high. Some guys talking $1.25. So we'll see, but that's also kind of lifting up the rest of the cattle market as far as values go for excess. Some good news: the National Milk Producers Federation is going to petition for a hearing on repricing on the formulas that go into the federal milk marketing order price structure. That, if accepted and approved, through the summer, would provide some relief in the way they would price milk. Not enough to really get back to profitability, but maybe to offset some of the losses that guys are going to have. So in the short run, looks like you're going to be in a loss scenario for the next 60, 90 days at least, hopefully coming out of it in the late summer months. But if not, it looks like it's going to be a tough year for the dairy business in California. So that's all I've got for dairy this week. Thanks. Hi, quick update on beef markets this week. Prices remain high. They've kind of come off, about 3 to 7 cents per pound on most 4.5 weight cattle and 8 weight cattle and what have you sold in California. Beef production overall is down year to year. So there's going to be continued demand on those beef products going forward. So, prices still look $2.60 per hundred or $2.60 per pound on the close-up cattle, 4.5 weights right now, crossbreds, going down to that $2.30, $2.40 per pound range in the far out months, about a year out. So still profitable for most operators at that range, but feed costs where they're at. Pack outs still look good. $3.11 for choice, $2.84 for select. That looks about right for the next 2 to 4 years as far as the scenario goes. Competition in those areas from substitute meats also not very strong. I think you've got poultry production still kind of recovering from some of the losses last year. Other than that, it's kind of a non-event week, and we'll keep you in tune for anything else that comes up. Thanks. Quick update on crops in California. Tomato planting still kind of behind all this weather. We had this extra heat, stopped everybody, looked good again, got into some rain, stopped everybody again. Cotton acreage, it's down 18% across the U.S. and 25% down in California this year. A lot of that's just flooding down south and also higher volume crops. Strawberries kind of in full swing, where 50% of strawberries will be harvested by July, and then the rest of the 50% through the remainder of the year. Prices remain high, about $10 to $12 a container, or flat, for which is 8 containers, $16 for organics. Those producers should do well on what they can pull off this year. Winter silage, full swing production there. They're chopping away. The prices there still stable in the $55 a ton North Valley to $75 a ton South Valley in the field for those crops. Not really hearing much on corn pricing yet, but we will as corn planting gets in the way on the forage sides. Good news, water won't be an issue, sounds like, for most of the state this year for once. So I think we'll be able to move on to other considerations, at least for the 2023 crop season. And that's all I've got this week. Stay tuned. Quick update on almond, walnut, and pistachio markets. Not a lot to talk about this week. Things are kind of flat. Everybody's waiting on the almond side for this kind of subjective estimate report's going to come out on May 11th. We'll have some comments and some analysis of that once it comes out. Still a lot of worry again about crop size. How much effect did this weather have on both retaining the nuts as well as pollination rates with the bees flying. Continued downside pressure on the walnut markets. It's just a lot of carrying inventory. So if you again aren't producing Chandlers or Howards or some other high-end variety, it's really tough to sell your nuts. We don't have much to report on the pistachio side. It's really hard to find information on nut pricing in the pistachio industry, believe it or not. But there should be some subjective estimates coming out in June that we'll report on as well, kind of talking about what the crop looks like, how many acres are coming in, and then some price considerations for the forward look for 2023 going forward. So stay tuned for that as well. And that's all I've got for nut crops this week. Thanks. Quick and dirty rate update for the week. Kind of a weird week. FOMC came out, raised rates by another quarter point again. We're at the 5 to 5.25 range. Looks to be about their target range for the internal interest rate for the Fed. Floating rates have pushed up to the 7.5 range for operating lines. Real estate same thing, about 7.25, 7.5 on a variable rate for real estate in the ag markets. Fixed rates on the ag side really pushing close to the 8% range on the 30-year notes. 2-year rates are still lower than your current rates, your 1-year rates, your 30-day rates. Jumbo rates and regular conventional home mortgage rates up again about 0.25 to 0.35% this week. Jumbos, there used to be a pretty big spread between jumbo rates and conventional loans, so large home mortgages and regular home mortgages. That's really squeezed up, where the regular home mortgages haven't moved, but your jumbo rates have pushed up, so there's some extra risk that's being priced in the market there for some reason. Interest costs here to stay high for the next year or so. Haven't seen a lot of push down on what those things are financing as far as pricing goes. So we'll have to see if there's actually some give at some point in time. In real estate values, both on the home side and the ag real estate side, they're all pretty flat. And that's the quick and dirty on rates this week. Thanks.